Good morning and welcome. My name is Eric Roshkalb and I'm the principal of Niwot High School, and it is my honor to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2017. First of all, I would like to let's go ahead and give it up for the class of 2017. This is the first graduation ceremony that Niwot High School has ever held indoors, so this is a special day today. I want to thank the band back there for playing Pop and Circumstance as we came in. They sounded wonderful as always. And at this point, I would like to invite everyone to stand for the national anthem. Singing today will be our choir seniors, Daniel Fiamengo, Jose Flores, James Gibbons, Chantal King, Olivia Kunick, Torn Lim, Cal Meekins, and Maya Nyberger.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Members of the class of 2017 and guests, please be seated. Thank you again for coming this morning. I would like to recognize the distinguished guests that are on stage with me here this morning. First of all, we have Miss Elizabeth Talon, who's our IB coordinator. Mrs. Paula Pierce is a member of the St. Vrain Valley School District Board of Education and mother of 2017 graduate Doug Pierce. And Ms. Tori Teague is our Assistant Superintendent of Assessment and Curriculum. Well, a normal graduation day takes many, many hours of preparation, and this year was above and beyond that with having to prepare for two separate possibilities, and so I very much want to recognize the following people for all of their hard work that has gone into preparing today. The assistant principals, the custodians, the secretaries, teachers, our tech crew, our boosters, and our education foundation. So can we give them a round of applause? I would also like to thank the law enforcement that have provided service here today. And then also, we never want to forget that we are able to have a gathering like this and be in a free country because of those who have served in our armed forces. Can we please, if you are a veteran, can you please rise? During this occasion of celebration and tribute, It is important to remember that there have been both highs and lows during your 4 years of high school. It is my sincere hope that there have been more highs than lows for each of you. This year has had its share of both. This past June, we lost our beloved David Lowers in a plane crash, and we miss him dearly, think of him often, and will never forget him. Among his classmates, we have left a chair unoccupied today in his remembrance, and we thank his family for attending our ceremony here today. Thank you, Bob and Christina. This past October, we also lost Jared Lizakowski, who graduated last year and who had many friends in this year's class. However, on the flip side of the coin, there has been a lot to celebrate this year. You know, it's been a joy to hear Mac Black get on the PA every morning and do our national anthem. Tommy Steger became a state wrestling champion, broke both the school and state records for the most wins in a high school career, and was named as the National Max Preps Athlete of the Year. Student Council rocked it with a Mardi Gras homecoming, some awesome pep assemblies, and a prom that will be remembered for many years to come. Alexis Carroll won individual state championships in both gymnastics and track and field. Margot Randolph saved the day when a kindergartner with a disability escaped from those watching him and ran across Niwot Road. Margot avoided hitting him with her car, stopped, good job on that one, Margot. She stopped her car, she pulled it over, and she stayed with that young man until help arrived. That was very heroic. Mr. Benson, our economics teacher, was named the Colorado Economics Teacher of the Year. NHS was awarded the silver medal by the U.S. News and World Report, which only takes into account AP classes. We had 35 members of our choir named to the St. Vrain Valley School District Honor Choir. Chantel King was nominated for a Bobby G Award, and Chris Brown won a Bobby G Award, which is Colorado. And for those of you who don't know, the Bobby G Award is Colorado's versions of the Tonys. It's a theatrical award. We're very proud of those students. Assistant Principal Andrea Smith received the Superintendent's Award of Excellence. Sandeep Kaushik and Jackson Roberts developed a de-stressing website that was shared with the whole school. Mr. Christensen, Mr. Christensen, who's a counselor and also our cross-country coach, was named the Colorado Cross-Country Coach of the Year. We began a Chinese language program. Ben Randall learned an important lesson about business when attempting to sell his Free Jesse t-shirts. The following teams qualified for state on the girls' side: cross country, gymnastics, soccer, swimming, tennis, track and field, and volleyball. And on the boys' side, qualifying for state: basketball, cross country, golf, soccer, tennis, track and field, and wrestling. Carter Osteen and Becky Klatt were named Homecoming King and Queen. Alex Olsner was selected as a blue-gray football All-American. The drama department put on some fantastic shows this year, including Murder in the House of Horrors, Into the Woods, and She Kills Monsters. Miss Madukatori was named Niwot High School's Educator of the Year. Anya Berlova got her artwork published in the Rocky Mountain SCBWI calendar. Jaden Kruger won the Dawson School's Debate Duels. Mock Trial took third place at state, even though they've only been in existence for 3 years. Many of our choir students participated in a flash mob at a wedding, and the video of that event has more than 20,000 views on YouTube. NHS is up to 43 clubs now. Hannah Hemstreet and Yannick Lee Yao were voted prom king and queen. Yannick, I'm glad I don't have to worry about you bringing your cat to school anymore. Mrs. Youngman was awarded our district's Encore Award. Many of our choir students traveled to New York City to perform with a Broadway cast in a revival of Crazy for You, starring Tony Award nominee Tony Yazbek, Jerry O'Connell, Rachel Dratch from Saturday Night Live, and Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock. Their performance even earned Niwot High School a tweet from celebrity Frankie Grande. Artside was one of the best ever. Unfortunately, the rain came a half hour after we were done. A sincere thank you is that Cody Holliday is with us here today, and thank God, after surviving a horrific car crash about a month ago. Claire Ryan won Niwot High School's inaugural Forensics Big Question Debate Tournament. Seeing Naomi Bastow place second at state recently in the Special Olympics 100-meter dash, and she was given her medal by our own campus supervisor, Lamar West. This year's senior class was awarded more than $9 million in college scholarships. Senior night was awesome. Bryn's speech and her senior slideshow were great. Julie Nelson on the marimbas, I don't think I'll ever forget that. Claire Gillette and Jenna McCaffrey playing their duet on the ukulele and guitar, it was amazing. Danny Fiamingo's heartfelt speech and him singing and playing a Billy Joel song was unbelievable. And then lastly, this hasn't been broadcast too widely, but about 2 weeks ago we got word that the Washington Post, who ranks schools all across the country, they didn't nominate us, but they recognize Niwot High School as the top public high school in Colorado. Now that's a lot to be proud of. Our students and staff have worked incredibly hard, and it is good to see their efforts recognized. However, when we dive below the surface, we realize that many of the most meaningful things that are happening here at Niwot High School don't receive the recognition that they deserve or receive an award. Consider this. We formed and successfully executed the Best Buddies Club, which pairs students with and without disabilities to socialize and deepen their friendships. Consider the students who will be the first in their families to graduate from high school. How about the students who have overcome tremendous personal adversity, be it the death of a friend or a parent, a personal illness, or other travail to finish high school strongly? Consider those who will be the first ones in their families to go to college. How about the students who have determined not to let a learning disability stop them from achieving their goals, and the teachers who have helped them along the way? Our amazing, amazing staff who spend evenings and weekends grading, lesson planning, contacting parents, writing letters of recommendation, strategizing on how to make their lessons meaningful, engaging, and relevant, and planning different ways to have an impact on their students' lives. Those are the things that truly make Niwot High School a special place. Us, our family, caring about one another and encouraging each other to go further than we have gone alone. That's really what makes Niwot a special place. So to close, I want to congratulate you seniors on a triumphant conclusion to your childhood and wish you all the best in the dawn of the next chapter of your life. Thank you for helping NHS to be a big family, and thank you for striving for excellence in all areas. Remember, whether young or old, near or far, you will always be a part of the Niwot Cougar family. Seniors, Godspeed. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your principal, and I pray for the best for each and every one of you. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our IB coordinator, Elizabeth Talon, for a few remarks.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. As we look at this graduating class of 2017, I am truly honored to offer you my most sincere congratulations this morning. Students, your levels of curiosity, intelligence, and compassion have exceeded our expectations. Throughout the year, we recognize excellence in many forms at Niwot High School. In assemblies, we have recognized excellence in athletics. At concerts, we have recognized excellence in the arts. In the newspaper, at special gatherings, and via social media outlets, we have recognized excellence in the community. Today, we wish to recognize outstanding academic achievements in our school. One so fortunate to offer the most rigorous academic programming, and one with some of the finest high school graduates. As I look at this graduating class, you will notice that many of these students are wearing a variety of stalls and cords over their gowns. Please note the listing in your program denoting these various codes and stalls. The International Baccalaureate Diploma candidates are those students wearing white stalls. Those are the students who have successfully completed at least 6 rigorous IB courses, each culminating in a comprehensive examination. In addition, those students have fulfilled all 3 IB components of the core, including completion of CAS, writing of an extended essay in a selected field of study, and engaging in a theory of knowledge course. The Advanced Placement Scholar with Distinction candidates are those students wearing black and gold cords. Those are the students who have taken 5 or more advanced placement exams. The Advanced Placement Scholar with Honors candidates are those students wearing black and silver cords, and are students who have taken 4 advanced placement exams. The Advanced Placement Scholar candidates are those students wearing black cords, and are students who have taken 3 advanced placement exams. The Student Council officers and representatives are those students wearing green stalls, and are students who have served the student body and school community while completing all of the Student Council leadership and class components this year. The National Honor Society members are those students wearing gold cords, which signify GPA of 375 or higher. The Future Farmers of America student members at the Career Center Development are those students wearing gold stalls. These students demonstrated leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. Another group of seniors we will recognize today are those students who are graduating with honors. These are students who are top 5% of both the IB and traditional cohorts who maintained a GPA above a 4.0 while carrying a very rigorous class schedule, including many weighted courses. They have completed a minimum of 4 academic subjects in each of the 8 semesters of high school and have successfully completed 3 or more years in both math and science. Seniors, as your name is announced, I invite you to stand to be recognized. Audience, I kindly ask that you hold your applause until all of the names have been called. Grace Antonucci, Anya Berlova, Linnea Butler, Yingying Chen, Armin Davis, Vidya Dev, Taylor Ellis, Taryn Fox, Emily Greenspan, Hannah Hemstreet, Ashley Herring, Cameron Kenkel, Eva Kitlin, Madison Kunkel, Grace Ladd, Erica Landreth, Duncan McCabe, Charlotte McCarthy, Tina Moe, Annabelle Mosier, Kajal Patel, Margot Randolph, Cole Robbins, Sarah Scharf, Ian Thomas, Sophie Vandenberg, Erica Walters, and Megan Williams. Would you like to recognize them? Students, you may be seated. A final group of seniors to be formally recognized this morning are students graduating with a perfect transcript with all A's for the past 4 years in every course they have taken, weighted or unweighted. Again, students, as your name is announced, I invite you to stand to be recognized. Audience, I kindly ask again that you hold your applause until all of the names have been called. Grace Antonucci, Yingying Chen, Vidya Dev, Elizabeth Elton, Emily Greenspan, Cameron Kenkel, Eva Kitlin, Erica Landreth, Duncan McCabe, Margot Randolph, Ian Thomas, Erica Walters, and Megan Williams. Thank you, students. Congratulations to all of our amazing graduates for their remarkable accomplishments at Niwot High School and beyond. As I conclude, please allow me to leave you with this thought. As an IB World School, we aim to develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring people who help to create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. With that in mind, we hope that each and every one of you will continue to strive to do to others as you would have them do to you, which inadvertently will contribute to a better and more peaceful world. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to invite Jack Edmond to come up here with me. And while he's on his way up, I want to introduce Jack because he is our senior class president. His top-tier academic performance in our IB program is rounded out by his exceptional commitment to our cross-country team, his role as National Honor Society president, and as recipient of the CU Boulder Outstanding Senior Award. As a sophomore, he was a student council representative. During his junior year, he served as student body secretary. In the fall, he'll begin his studies in political science at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Please help me welcome our 2017 Student Body President, Jack Edmond.
All right. You're going to do great, Jack. I pre-read your speech, and I love it. You're going to do great.
All right. Good morning, parents, relatives, faculty, and graduating class of 2017. Today, I could speak to the outstanding Niwot faculty that has worked incredibly hard to ensure my success over the past 4 years. I could also speak to my family and my friends that are here with me today that I credit a great amount of my academic success to, thanks to their endless and unwavering support of me throughout my high school career. I could spend a great deal of time thanking the people that have contributed to my success, but there was only one thing that I was sure of when I was writing this speech. I knew that this speech was to be about the class and for the class. With that, I intended to tell a story, our story, that is unique to the class of 2017, to reflect on where we started, the bumps we had in the road, where we're ending, but most importantly, where we're going after today. As hard as it is for me to see pictures of my untamed eyebrows and other significant atrocities from freshman year, It's significantly harder for me to believe that most of us began our careers at Niwot in 2013, almost 4 years ago. The first thing that comes to mind when I think back to freshman year, in addition to the horrendous transition to 90-minute classes, is the naivety of us all. I see the same thing every year, wide-eyed kids attempting to navigate the labyrinth that is Niwot High School. This is the same way that our story began. We adjusted to an 8-block schedule, unsuccessfully determined whether or not we had A or B lunch, and began some of the most memorable years of our lives. Some of our starts were likely different from others, some smooth and some pretty tough. But the one thing that we all shared was that we were part of the same class. We were going to be Niwot's 45th graduating class, and we would go on to build our own community together. As a part of that class and as freshmen, we were faced with new challenges as we adjusted to such a major change in our lives. Together, we were confronted with challenges that would eventually pale in comparison to what we would face down the road. When we look at our freshman selves and compare them to ourselves today, we've all undergone immense changes. We can compare everything from our looks to our goals, our friends, interests, and accomplishments. Senior year itself has been a point of recognition where we can look back on the naive freshmen that we were and see how far we've come in the last 4 years. This evolution of ourselves is only a small glimpse into how much we're actually going to change in the future on our individual journeys. Today, we find ourselves at another point of transition as we begin those journeys. Before we embark on our separate paths, we should all strive to embrace the identity that we have created together as a class, through football games, homecoming events, and assemblies, and be proud of what we have accomplished at Niwot. The class of 2017 will leave a legacy here today that boasts both success and diversity. We can think of the end of our story the same as the completion of a puzzle, one that has taken 4 long years for us to complete. We have tried and failed many times to put the pieces together correctly to finally succeed today as we gather here to be ushered into the next phases of our lives. That's not to say that there aren't some significant pieces of the puzzle that we are missing. On our journey, we lost someone that was very special to this community. A friend, a brother, a son, and a classmate who left his own unique mark on this class and everyone that he knew. Because of our loss of David Lowers last year, our puzzle will never be completed exactly the way it should be. As we celebrate our accomplishments today, we mustn't forget that David is still an irreplaceable part of this class, and we are also celebrating his life and his impact on Niwot today. What I hope for all of us in the future is to grow and become the best versions of ourselves and to contribute as much as we can to the society that we are going to build together. I have full confidence that this class will move on to do unthinkable and astounding things with the skills that we are developing. I hope that we will all be able to be immensely proud of where we come from. Whether you spent 1 year or 4 at Niwot, I believe that we are all incredibly privileged to have been a part of this class and to be graduating from a community at Niwot that we have all built hand in hand, because I believe Niwot offers an experience that is so different from other high schools around us. This class, time and time again, has been able to overcome differences just as we did with Yik Yak and Candid, and weave in the lessons that we learned through these experiences to become essential parts of our identity. This class never fails to back down from a challenge and has fought for what we believed in to be right time and time again, from walkouts over standardized testing to an extensive push for an inclusive prom royalty ballot. I have found myself at several points throughout the last 4 years wondering why our class has always been the one to clash the most with policies and to not shy away from voicing our opinions on them. Now, as we sit here today, I can conclude that there is something incredibly special about our generation and our class. This class knows the distinct difference between what is deemed correct by society and what is actually right. Although we may feel divided among political, economic, or social lines, I urge us all here today to remember that we are all so much more alike than we are different. The challenges that we have faced together have erased these lines and have made us stronger. These challenges are an essential part of our story to symbolize another way in which we have grown in our 4 years at Niwot. In the future, when I look back on my high school experience, I hope to remember these challenges and how we overcame them, and be proud of the work that we have done for this community. Our journey, both together and as individuals, hasn't been easy or short by any means, but as our high school experience comes to a close today, we all have so much to be proud of. Together, we have worked diligently, both academically and athletically, to build another layer in Niwot's historic foundation that is sure to last because it has been built to be as strong as we are as a class. It has been a privilege and an honor to be a part of this class and to have served as your student body president. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2017.
Thank you, Jack. Very well stated. I'd like to bring up Emily Greenspan, who's our IB Valedictorian. This year's IB Valedictorian is Emily Greenspan. Her attributes include the ability to relate to all members of the athletic teams on which she has played and all students in general, and with very high ethical and moral standards. With all the success that Emily has experienced, it would be hard to believe that she does nothing other than make goals and work hard to achieve them. Emily has always been respectful and demonstrates this through her excellent communication and the relationships that she has with adults. She's also taken on the maximum amount of challenges she knows she can handle, demonstrating an incredible ability to manage her time, keep calm, and maintain a healthy social life. She can adapt to any new situation that she has faced and has proven to be very successful in a team setting and as an independent person. Emily is caring and knowledgeable. She tends to always put others before herself and uses her knowledge to help others achieve success. In the fall, Emily will be attending the University of Colorado. Please join me in congratulating this year's IB Valedictorian, Emily Greenspan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Niwot High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2017. I know I am not the first one to say it, and definitely not the last one either, but I would like to personally congratulate every one of you on our achievement of making it here today. And to put it quite simply, we finally made it. I am truly honored to be standing here today, speaking to you all, and am humbled to have been a small part of this intellectually thriving community we tend to so often take for granted. During times like this, it is commonplace for us to reflect on what we have accomplished and what we have yet to experience. We are on the cusp of our next great adventure, but I feel as though we often glance over how we got here and who has helped us along the way. I would like to begin by thinking about what it means to graduate. For many of us, our commencement ceremony marks the end of a chapter, a close to the first part of our lives. In reality, our commencement ceremony marks the beginning of our adult lives, a time where we can truly grow and prosper in a life that we can uniquely call our own. To me, our commencement ceremony marks the completion of our foundation of accomplishments and achievements in which we can build ourselves upon. The construction of our foundation could be described through the evolution of my shoes. That's right, you heard me correctly. We are going to talk about shoes. Because after all, you can never own too many shoes. Now, just let me explain. When we first begin our lives, we don't have a pair of shoes. We entered the world barefoot and without proper footwear. We were vulnerable to new ideas in the environment around us. I'm sorry, this is just slipping off. This was a time where we could really begin to shape what makes us unique. Moving along in my life, I soon graduated to a pair of flashing, light-up princess shoes that ensured that fun followed me around everywhere. This stage in my life was all about discovering and learning the new things that we experience. The lights in my shoes never shone a continuous beam, but rather a flashing light that represents the cycle of becoming excited about the new things over and over again. Then I owned a pair of Heelys, like, you know, the shoe with the wheel in your heel. They helped me skate through life as quickly as possible. Things sped up as I tried to experience as much as I could, as quickly as I could, as I was simply no longer a kid anymore. Can I just take it off? Okay, thank you. And I bet many of you told your mom that the Heely phase was just not a phase. Transitioning into high school, I discovered comfortable shoes, which for me happened to be Sperry's, but for some of you it might have been Birkenstocks, Crocs, or any other comfortable shoe brand out there. High school was a time where we began to start defining what comfort means to us, our friends, our hobbies, our sports, our education. Now today at our commencement, I am standing before you in a pair of heels. For you guys out there who may not have experienced wearing heels before, They are super uncomfortable. But there is something special about being uncomfortable that drives you to change. And I can assure you that you will be seeing a plethora of changes coming our way in the near future. But this discomfort raises a question. What will we wake up and do for the rest of our lives? My dad asked this same question of his graduating class as he stood before them 39 years ago at his own commencement ceremony. I believe that this is not a coincidence that this quote remains applicable today. I know we just talked for a while about shoes, but you and I both know that's not what it's truly about. It is about the steps you take and the people that you meet along the way. And remember that as we move on from this moment, it is oftentimes the people that we meet most unexpectedly that have the most profound impact on our lives. So I implore you to proceed forward from this moment with an open mind for discovery and an open heart for others as we try to navigate this crazy ride we call life. Congratulations, class of 2017, and thank you.
That was great. You knocked it out of the ballpark. Good job. That was awesome. Remember that? The whole thing was great, with and without the hat. Okay, next I'd like to invite Erica Walters up to join me on the stage. Erica is our traditional valedictorian, and her exceptional academic aptitude is reflected in her rigorous curriculum of 7 AP courses, perfect 5s on all of her AP exams last year, and a 34 ACT score. She is a student who possesses a love of learning and a desire to fully engage in her high school experience. Erica is also one of our National Merit finalists. Her academic excellence is balanced by a wonderfully creative side that is demonstrated through her love of dance. She takes advantage of every opportunity to improve her skills and is trained with national programs. Her longtime commitment to dance has enhanced her leadership, resiliency, and integrity. Contributing to the community is important to Erica, and she has threaded dance through every opportunity to volunteer and to interact with others. Whether focusing on outreach at senior centers and elementary schools, mentoring younger dancers, or assisting teachers through the tutoring program at our feeder school, Erica is the quintessential example of a student who uses her time and talent to promote positive change. She will attend Butler University this fall, where she will major in dance and business. Please join me in congratulating our traditional valedictorian, Erica Walters.
Good morning, everyone, and before I begin, congratulations. What I want to emphasize the most today is my gratitude for my fellow classmates. I have been treated with such generosity of spirit by so many of you that it only seems right to express, above all else, the impact that you have had. I truly believe that every one of us follows a unique and equally valuable path to have made it this far. The copious amount of work that must be completed to be graduating today is easy for no one. Every individual must overcome a unique set of difficulties, and although some are made known and others are not, these obstacles will come to augment the resilience of our generation. In many years, what will matter most about high school is not the grades we earned or the classes we took. Rather, it is the relationships and experiences that we shared with our peers that will remain significant. This group of people is unique to our graduating class, and although coursework may be replicated across different years, groups of individuals cannot. As we continue to diversify and expand our individual horizons, we'll remember and most likely continue to be affected by the mutual influence that we have had on each other in high school. If I have one regret from my 4 years at Niwot, it is that I failed to get to know many of my classmates better and sooner. Even among those that I've spent the past 13 years in school with, there are a few that I truly know well. If I were to start over, I'd initiate more conversations, be more curious, and get more involved. Although 4 years at first seemed an incredibly long amount of time to spend here, they've gone by fast. Luckily, I can say that over this past year, I've begun to branch out with more curiosity about those around me. This has been nothing but rewarding. Today, I'm honestly a little bit shocked to be here representing our class because I come to school every day and I witness the incredible things that my classmates do and accomplish. Every person here has so much to offer to the success of our generation, and I am inspired by the diversity of these contributions, each as valuable as the next. Within our graduating class, there exists a huge range of individual passions, interests, and personalities. Many excel at things that I personally could never begin to understand or attempt, and for this, I am inspired by my peers. The reciprocal influence that we have on each other every day is invaluable. Thus, I appreciate school for its ability to bring individuals together to share one common experience. Outside of school, we self-segregate based upon our differences, yet here, our unique talents are collective and diverse. I feel that this diversity is what gives our generation the potential for enormous success, as I have faith in a world where everyone does what they love and excel at. The success of a generation is dependent on the passion of the thriving individuals that make it up. Although it requires bravery and persistence to find and pursue a passion, I have no doubt that our class will represent an incredible variety of talents. The obscurity and complexity of many of these talents will never cease to amaze me, and I trust that high school reunions will reveal impressive accomplishments. It doesn't matter what you do, it only matters that you do what you love and go forth wholeheartedly. It excites me to consider the immense potential of our graduating class as unique individuals and as a collective force. And so, to my classmates, both those of you that I've been lucky enough to know well, and those that I may have only interacted with once. It's because of you that my memories of these 4 years have grown progressively fonder. It's because of you that these past few weeks have felt surprisingly bittersweet, and it's because of you that I have faith in the future of our generation as each of us progresses into whatever may be next. Thank you.
Nice job, Erica. Very well said. All right, I would next like to invite our faculty speaker up to join me on stage. Mr. Andrew Roberts is one of our teachers here. Mr. Roberts has been teaching math here for many years. He is a Renaissance man in many ways. He's a part of a band. He has sponsored our tent talks, and we are very excited to hear the speaker that the senior class has selected. So please help me welcome Mr. Andrew Roberts.
Thanks for speaking today. Good luck.
Oh, I just want to look at you for a second. So good morning, everyone, graduates, family, friends. It's wonderful to see you all here in one place, focused on one thing as a group. It's one of those times it's becoming a little more rare in our culture, a time to look at the whole, the time to look at a collective experience that we're actually collectively experiencing in actual real life. I'm honored and humbled to be here with you. You're amazing people, and to just be a small part of your collective experience is all that I could ever ask for. The great Jeff Tweedy, front man of the band Wilco, wrote the following line in a song called You Never Know. He wrote, quote, "Every generation thinks it's the end of the world." Now, Tweedy's a pretty funny guy, and you don't always know if he's serious, but I think what he's saying is that we sometimes share a collective little panic. I'm not sure if this is true for every generation, and I definitely don't know how true it is for each individual, but I know this. There are 3 types of people you can count on to worry about things: the young, the smart, and anyone who's facing a major change in their life. So here we are, collectively experiencing what happens in a room full of young, smart people facing one of their major changes in life. So I asked you a couple of weeks ago to respond to a pretty direct, simple question. I asked you, what are you worried about? Almost 100 of you replied. Collectively, you wrote nearly 3,000 words on that topic. I read every single one, and I tried to make sense of it all. And there were 3 major themes, and they just repeated over and over again. You expressed concern about political unrest, the environment, and not surprisingly, your own future happiness and success in a career and your own life. So how about we talk about that a little? About politics, one of you wrote, quote, "We don't want to even hear another viewpoint. We want it shut out entirely. I worry that some potentially good ideas could just disappear because of this. I worry about the desire to control people more in general. Another one of you said, people just go along with what they're told or what they want to be true rather than using logic to determine the truth. You expressed multiple concerns about corruption, polarization, how you perceive that leaders don't fight for peace and only act in their own interests. The phrase ultra-nationalism was raised more than once. To summarize it, it feels like the kind of governing that concerns you is authoritarianism and quieting the voices of opposition. You worry about centralizing viewpoints and building barriers instead of embracing healthy conflict and working toward inclusive compromise. So here's the thing. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but leadership is hard. People get confused about how to lead, and they lean toward the simplest thing, which is authoritarian rule. People believe they can achieve authority by taking control. People confuse respect with fear and bullying, and that's the sad territory of those who underestimate the power of organized people. My grandmother gave her high school graduation address. I just actually learned that recently. The irony of that, significantly, is that this was the exact same year that the U.S. House of Representatives voted down a proposal to give women the right to vote. The year my dad graduated from high school, blacks and whites still didn't even go to school together in a whole lot of states. The year I graduated from high school, gay people were being openly and violently discriminated against. Every generation thinks it's the end of the world. But here's the very silver lining. Authoritarian leadership is a terrible long-term strategy. It's just too much to ask for people to accept an unnatural fate. People, like you, want to be free, happy, and heard. And the good news is there's always going to be more people than there are going to be bureaucrats. Eventually, we push through the worry. The worry transitions into recognition of the issue, and the recognition transitions into organization, and organization transitions into action. The suffragette movement did not give in. The civil rights movement did not give in. The gay rights movement did not give in. There were sacrifices, and there's still work to be done on all counts. But that work gets done one way and one way only. Your worry and your concern, it's got to transition into action. We still have the vote. We still have protest. We still have relatively free speech. When I think about your future, and to be perfectly honest, my future that is now in your hands, I'm confident and I'm hopeful. There are peers amongst you right now who've already been in the streets to pronounce what they believe to be true. I know many of you attended the women's marches in Boulder, Denver, and some of you went all the way to Washington, D.C. Yeah, why not, right? The motivation that you have to become a strong collective power is in you, and I trust you. It may not be the most popular sentiment to publicly broadcast, but when has that stopped me? Authority is not and never will be greater than people, and it must always be challenged by critical thinkers. You owe it to leaders to speak up. In a republic, you're partners with the people you choose to represent you. I'll close this part of the topic with one of your quotes. One of you said, quote, "I don't worry about the government. I really don't. I'm as liberal as they come. But I think the pendulum will swing back, and I have no fear that there are a few good men in there to sort things out." Not that it's my place to edit your free speech, but I definitely throw a few good women in there too. Just saying. Of your second theme, you wrote over 20 times the words climate, environment, the phrase global warming. One of you said, "I am so worried about climate change and the general disregard for that the human race has about the casual destruction of our planet. It's terrifying to think we are killing entire species and environments, even though it's entirely preventable." when my father-in-law was in high school. He lived in the Texas Panhandle during the Dust Bowl. The grasslands of the prairie had been plowed up so farmers could plant crops, and when a drought hit the area, the earth literally started to blow away. According to the Nature Conservancy, for the next 9 years, massive clouds of dust and dry soil swept across the nation, from Texas to Washington, D.C., blackening skies, ruining farmland, and leaving millions homeless. In May of 1934, massive dust storms caked cities as far as New York, Atlanta, and Washington. In Chicago, a 2-day storm dumped 12 million pounds of soil on the city. It was the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history, but it was also a wake-up call, leading lawmakers and environmental pioneers to take action that would help save the nation's agricultural industry and usher in a new area of land management and conservation. The wake-up call worked. Franklin Roosevelt ordered the planting of nearly 40 million saplings across 3,600 miles of land from Texas to Kansas. Tom Christensen, the regional conservationist for the Natural Resource Conservation Service, said, "The conservation measures and practices put in place as a result of the Dust Bowl have helped prevent similar catastrophic events." Can you imagine how apocalyptic the environment must have looked to people in the late 30s? They had their moment of believing it was the end of the world, but through their ingenuity and their commitment, they fixed the problem. Although there have been severe droughts since that time, there's never been a repeat of the Dust Bowl. Imagine what your generation will do. I wrote can, I just replaced it right now with will, with technology that you've not even invented yet. I have hope, because I have to, that it'll be your generation that succeeds in global cooperation to combat the environmental changes that clearly concern you. Your third theme was your own personal concerns, which didn't surprise anybody. You're worried about failure. You're worried about jobs. You're worried about money, satisfaction, happiness, strange new conditions, and living up to expectations. These were by far the most touching and the most vulnerable comments that you made. And honesty is really funny sometimes, too. One of you said the following: "I don't even come close to feeling like an adult who can make their own decisions, be self-sufficient, and take care of themselves. I worry about graduating and going to college and being an adult, because right now I feel like a 12-year-old with a car." Another one of you said, "I'm worried about going to the doctor's office alone or finding my own dentist." Well, let's pick that apart a little bit to finish up here. You worried about failure? Okay, well, you're going to fail. There you go. But your failures are literally the pathway to your successes. It sounds like a bumper sticker, but it's completely true. Every action requires an equal and opposite reaction. Think about it. What does success look like without failure? It's unrecognizable. Without failure, success is just another day, indistinguishable from the rest. You worried about jobs? Okay, you'll have several. I've had socks for longer than some of your careers will last. The worry is normal, but yours is a fluid generation where change isn't something to embrace. It's just something that is, and you're going to learn to roll with that. Money, success, whatever that all means, my advice is to let it go. Yes, they say we're reaching the point where future generations may not be better off than past generations. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe we're confused about what better off means. I can tell you from personal experience, money doesn't equal happiness. They can both be accumulated, sometimes simultaneously, but part of your journey is probably going to include deciding which one of those two matters the most to you. For those of you who are apprehensive about moving away and leaving behind what's familiar, and that came up a lot, yeah, we understand that too. Change can be scary, but have you considered the alternative? Breaking out of your comfort zone is where discovery happens, and you're just starting a discovery that's going to last another several decades. There will be a lot of comfort zones to leave behind. Remember how this one feels, because it won't be your last, and your first is always special. One of the greatest things that one of you said was this quote: "I'm afraid I'll have too much fun and regret it later." I'm also afraid I won't have enough fun and regret it later. My friend, you will do both. But try to lean toward the first one, because regretting too much fun is way better. And finding a dentist, not that hard. You'll go to one, and if he or she doesn't make you feel creepy or weird, you'll just keep going to the same one. Finally, I wish I could have known you all. I really do. I wish I could have known some of you better. But I believe those of you I've gotten to know well over the years are valid representatives of the group. A group with amazing talent, poise, confidence, courage, and humor. It's with 100% confidence that I can say you're people who will organize against fear and ignorance. You will fight the powers that be. You will solve big problems and embrace the future. That's all I could hope for. And appropriately, I want to leave you with some more words from one of your peers. One of you said, "I'm actually not that worried. Maybe it's because I live in my little bubble of obliviousness, but I feel that the world has a way of working itself out. Though I do wish there was an International Chocolate Week where chocolate was celebrated in festivals worldwide." Amen, kid. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of your collective experience. You're amazing people. I'll miss you all very much, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. Thank you.
Mr. Roberts, thank you for sharing those sentiments. The dirty little secret is some of us adults still feel like we're 12 years old driving a car around, afraid of the dentist and the doctor, so it's all good. At this point, we're going to take about a 5 to 10 minute pause. We're going to reconfigure the stage, and then we're going to start back up again and get everybody their diplomas. So take a 5 or 10 minute stretch break, and we'll start back again here shortly.
crap, that's a hard way to get from back there. Huh? Check, check, check. So he can walk and get the kids name. That's me.
That's you. Okay. All right. Good. Glad you're here. Thank you.
We were going to have it here. Then we can hand it to you. Smooth. Yeah, it was interesting hearing the perspective. Check, check, check. Test 1, 2. Will everybody please proceed to their seats? Will the audience please proceed to their seats?
Thank you. Jack Thomas Edward.
Emily Claire Greenspan. Erica Lynn Walters.
Daniel Ryan Fiamengo.
Jose Manuel Flores. James Patrick Gibbons.
Chantal Moniba King. Olivia Ann Kunick.
Lee Tong Lim. Cal Elliott Meekins.
Maya Caitlin Nyberger.
Natalie Jo Abeda. Justin Robert Abraham.
Levi Dean Adams.
Gwen Celeste Alchin. Chris Austin Altenborg.
Esmeralda Alvarado.
Grace Ellen Antonucci. Peter Thomas Archibald.
Alexander Morgan Arnold.
Alina Atiano. Sydney Iko Atkins.
Carla Esmeralda Ayan Navarro.
Roland James Bailey. Tell me yes or no. Do you want it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Clayton Lee Ballard.
Chase Montgomery Ballman.
Adam Levi Barber. Naomi Sokel Basto.
Madison Nicole Barco.
Araceli Barraza Mendoza. Duncan Randolph Barrett. Maria Renee Barrett.
Robert Warren Bartlett.
Sage Dakota Bauer. Dustin Christian Bell.
Anya Elena Anastasia Barlova.
Samantha Stewart Biles. Avery Grace Armstrong Blanco.
Emma Catherine Blanken.
Jacob Ryan Bach. Lauren Renee Bach. Daniel Alexvich Boyko.
Marina Boyko.
Dylan Michael Bonge. Rachel Lee Brink.
Rachel Nicole Bromwell.
Kelsey Juliana Brostrom. Christopher Wayne Brown.
Jake Wills Butler.
Linnea Kathleen Butler. Alexis Marie Carroll.
Jacob Stephen Carson.
Caleb Ian Carter. Marcus Jacob Chuknova.
Bryn Patrice Chavez.
Matthew Roy Chavez. Alejandra Chavez Sainz.
Casey Chen.
Paula Estefani Carrasco Lenderos. Dominic Daniel Cantelli.
Ying Chen.
Ryan Thomas Chedham. Jaden Jihoon Cho.
Evan J. Clark.
Travis Houston Cochran. Brianna Rose Cole.
Andrew Thomas Cooley.
Leaf McDonald Koopman. Jaden Kendall Kruger.
Armin Alexander Davis.
Jack Conrad Davis. Okay. Vidya Benashi Dave.
J. William Dimmig.
Mectis Lydia Deshawn. Jessica Grace Douthit.
Haley Marie Drexel.
Amanda Marie Duquette. Natalia Grace Venables Eigner.
Max George Silvas Iliopoulos.
Spencer Armand Elliott. Taylor Nicole Ellis.
Elizabeth Francis Elton.
Mason John English. Yesenia Dalila Esquivel Charavia.
Olivia Diane Evans.
Jesse John Troster Falk. Sarah Elizabeth Martin Falk.
Riley Christopher Ferrero.
Jason Subar Fetters. Phoebe Fox Fisher.
Emma Kate Fletcher.
Taryn Riley Fox. Erica Frances Fraley.
Kaylee Miritzi Francia Baran.
Joshua Bernard McCafferty Frank. Ethan Ryan Frendatier.
Matthew William Funk.
Lydia Claire Garrett. Anthony David Garza. Fox Nathaniel Antonio Garza.
Natalia Rose Gazdick.
Madeline Elaine Gilbert. Claire Margaret Gillette.
Jack Michael Gilson.
Emma Nicole Getz. Trey Anthony Gomez.
Carla Ari Gomez.
Carla Daniela Gomez Garcia. Zachary James Gonzalez.
Luis Angel Gonzalez.
Jennifer Rose Gracie. Peter Lawrence Graham.
Trevor Scott Green.
Mead Alexandra Halsey Mendez. Che Hawk Hay.
Drew Charles Heidemann.
Haley Mae Heidemann. Aiden James Heinritz.
Alec Reed Helgland.
Evan James Harley. Hannah Barrett Hemstreet. Louisa Claire Hennecart.
Ashley Shea Herring.
John William Hybar. Annalise Nicole Hill.
Catherine Teresa Harano.
Seth Lewis Holland. Cody David Holliday.
Caitlin Michelle Huff.
Ashlyn Renee Holt. Gabriel Parker Hyde.
Sierra Renee Ivan.
Olivia Marie Ramsey. Megan Christine Jeske.
Sandeep Sridhar Kaushik.
Madeline May Keith. Cameron Ann Kenkel. Zachary Todd Kinnison.
Eva Gordon Kitlin.
Rebecca Catherine Klatt. Sarah Marie Knight.
Jackson Joseph Kolakowski.
Thomas Maxwell Kiesel. Madison Celine Kunkel.
Ryan Charlton Custer.
Olivia Tyler Lobby. Dallas Michael Lakovic. Nicholas Charles Lakovic.
Grace Foray Ladd.
Chance Ronald LaFollette. Ashley May Rulai.
Erica Irwin Landreth.
Mary Elizabeth Lang. Oscar Lara Castillo.
Cindy Jung Lee.
Scott James Lee. Yannick Clancy Lee Yao.
Monica Nicole Lehman.
Grace Ann Leslie. Grace Olivia May Leto. Okay, got it. Grace Olivia May Leto.
Kaylee Marie Limbach.
Megan Elizabeth Little. Rachel Michelle Long.
Athena Sage Londo.
Elizabeth Frances Lork Scherning. Irvin Rolando Marroquin.
Abel Martinez Rodriguez.
John Robert Harrison Matthews. Duncan Carroll McCabe.
Jenna Jewel McCaffrey.
Charlotte Carol McCarthy. Brittany Ann McClure.
Molly Kathleen McTighe.
Sophia Amira MD Siddick. Olin Alistair Meekins.
Ariel Diana Malara.
Skylar Robert Messenger. Just making sure. Sorry. Madeline Grace Michaels.
Connor Michael.
Eli Porter Miller. Ella Carolyn Miller.
Russell Dominic Miller.
Taylor Jane Millette. Griffin Lawrence Mitchell.
Tina Moe.
Bailey Grace Veronica Mooney. Vianney Aire Moreno.
Annabelle Marie Mosier.
It's a pretty dress. Vanessa Mosqueda Arredondo. Julia Sutphin Nelson.
Luke Ellis Nelson.
Joseph Richard Neve. Daniel Noel Norman.
Cheyenne Freedom, AKA Fireworks, Paige Norris.
Haley Jean Noterman. Samantha Claire Nowlin.
Brian Christopher Oates.
Alexander Donald Osner. Luis Enrique Olivas. Jesus Olivas Valdez. Eduardo Olivas Rodriguez.
Rachel Nicole Oliver.
Gina Ortiz Medina. Carter Lane Osteen.
Kajal Dilip Kumar Patel.
Douglas Scott Pierce. Jaden Big Dog Daryl Thomas Penzel.
Kelsey Emmy Pepin.
Jessica Judith Perez Rivera. Elijah Ray Phillips.
Morgan Mo Tiara Pitzer.
Ethan William Raditz. Heather Faye Marie Ramo.
Yesenia Michelle Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez Lopez. Benjamin David Randall.
Margot Anna Randolph.
Georgina Jolyn Ratliff. Madison Ona Ralba.
Quinn Ray Ward.
Lance Wallace Rochelle. Isaac Lee Robert.
Cole Monroe Robbins.
Jackson Emmett Roberts. Lauren Eileen Roberts.
Armando Gonzalez Rodriguez Jr.
Jesus Alberto Rodriguez Vaquera. Samuel Wallace Rollman.
Allison Asia Rudy.
Audrey Allen Ryan. Claire Elizabeth Ryan.
Connor Michael Ryan.
Sarah Ann Scharf. Christina Nicole Schreiber.
Christopher James Seitz.
Aiden Alexander Sesnick. Grace Susan Scheibels.
Jacob Benjamin Sims.
Oleg Dmitrievich Sprengel. Anushka Singh.
Joshua Videsh Singh.
Dakota Mitchell Smith. Lucas Robert Smith.
Courtney Sue Smoljan.
Chandler Joshua Sneed. Carly Eleanor Sorensen.
Jessica Sarah Susi.
Thomas Mark Steger. Hunter Michael Okus Stevens.
Kylie Hunter Stobie.
Emily Anna Stokes. Shanti Joy Stoughton.
Catherine Helen Emeke Steiger.
Chase Tyler Timmerman.
Elijah Bruce Toledo.
Matthew Austin Thomas Tolles. Aiden Michael Tollefson.
Daniel Bradford Topham.
Samuel Robert Turner. Hold on, buddy. Gregory Ryan Tripp.
Sophie Charlotte Vandenberg.
Karen Yaxel Viodor Rosado. Heidi Nicole Violet.
Hannah Marie Volth.
Jonathan Taylor Waggle. Elliot Joseph Wall.
Marissa Rain Waters.
Nicholas David Weckerly. Danielle Morgan Weeks.
Isaac William West.
Bailey Elaine Marie Wisner. Hannah Catherine Whitaker.
Isaiah John Weirmarch.
Kai Kane Wilbur. Estella Kathleen Wilch.
Brianna Nicole Williams.
Megan Patricia Williams. William Jordan Wills.
Lauren Whitney Wolf. Valeria Zavala.
Good morning and congratulations to all of the graduates and their families today. It is an honor to be here as a Board of Education member and a Niwot parent, to watch our children reach a milestone in life and to applaud them as they graduate from high school. I know this journey has been a long one. Starting before the turn of the 21st century, your journey has taken you through preschool and kindergarten, through lost teeth and learning to read, through the middle school years, and then to Niwot High School, where you finished the job of growing up and becoming young men and women. In that time, our world has changed significantly. You are a generation that is coming of age in an age of acceleration, where change is not only frequent, but constant and increasing at an ever snowballing pace. You are a generation that must be prepared to succeed in jobs and industries that have not been invented yet. You are a generation that will go beyond the moon. I have no doubt that upon graduating from Niwot High School, you are prepared to thrive in this century, achieve your goals, and work hard toward fulfilling your dreams. I believe this so strongly because I know our teachers, administrators, and staff constantly, consistently, every day move our students forward in their knowledge and abilities and give you the tools to become the best generation yet. Thank you to the staff of Niwot High School for doing the day-to-day, very detailed and personalized work that will be remembered for 300 lifetimes. And I'll also share, Mr. Rajkab early in the ceremony announced several awards that the school and the staff and the students have received and achieved, and there's one that he omitted. Mr. Rajkab was selected as the Colorado Principal of the Year by He received that award from the Colorado Association of School Executives, which is all of the superintendents around the state, so these people know what they're talking about. I also want to acknowledge that our schools don't work alone. Thank you to the families and parents for choosing St. Vrain Valley Schools and sharing your children with us. It is a huge statement of trust when families place their children in our own public schools to be guided and informed, trained and coached as they grow to become contributing and caring adults. We are honored that you have allowed us to prepare your children for our collective future. And lastly, thank you to the students who have worked so hard. Your accomplishments academically, athletically, artistically, and on behalf of your community are outstanding. Be proud of everything you have accomplished, own your mistakes, and be confident that you are well prepared to carve out your future. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey. So now I'll get to the real point that I'm here. I hereby declare that these seniors, the class of 2017 at Niwot High School, have met the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the St. Vrain Valley School District Board of Education. It gives me great pleasure to present to you this outstanding class of 2017.
Thank you, Paul. That was great. Nice job. Okay, as the last time speaking to you as your principal, members of the class of 2017, I would like to invite you to stand at this time. As an indication of your successful completion of high school, please move your tassel from the right to the left. Graduating seniors, please turn and face your audience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the Niwot High School graduates from the class of 2017. Congratulations!